Welcome back to Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo. Today's guest is an old friend of the show. He's been in my studio in New York many times. He's one of the funniest guys that I know in bodybuilding. And he had a couple of ups and downs in his career. And I think this is a perfect time in, I guess you could say, in our lives right now that we can talk to someone about a comeback story. Because I think we all need a good comeback story. Everyone's down with the coronavirus and depressed that they can't leave the house. Here's a guy who was locked up in prison for 2 years, but he's out now. He's making a comeback. Steve Silverman, welcome back to the show.
What's up, Dave? How are you?
Hey, usually I get you in the studio, but now I'm not in New York anymore. And where are you living these days?
I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
I'm back in New Jersey. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Roselle Park, New Jersey.
Okay. Now, what year did you win the Nationals? What was that?
2012.
All right, 2012. I interviewed Steve. He won the NPC Nationals at middleweight, and he was no one knew who he was. He just came out of nowhere, a ton of freaky muscle on him. I thought you were going to be a great 212 pro, and you kind of had some ups and downs. Tell us, just give people who don't really know you like a little quick summary of what went on after you turned pro and your downfall.
After I turned pro in 2012, had a year for 2013. I was good. I was training. I was putting on size. Then I competed in the 2014 New York Pro.
Right.
And I took like 16th that year. And after that, I kind of fell off my rocker again. I started using drugs, and you know what I mean.
What kind of drugs do you like? What's your drug of choice?
Like cocaine, ecstasy, meth.
Right.
Anything fast, Dave, I'm doing it.
Right. What's the most addictive drug that you've ever used that you feel like is like, this is the devil?
The most addicting, the devilish drug to ever use was meth.
Okay.
Because meth makes you think like everybody's after you, man. You make up all these scenarios in your head and you absolutely go crazy and you think something's going on that's not. See, like cocaine, like you do it, like you get high, you get a little, horny or whatever, you do your thing, you come down, whatever. Meth, you're just in another world, man. That was the worst drug. That's what really ruined me when I started doing that, you know what I mean?
Now, were you smoking it or were you injecting it? How were you doing it?
Dave, if I'm doing something, I'm going main vein with that,
So you're injecting it?
I was injecting it, yeah.
Wow. How fast does that hit you when you take a shot of that stuff? Pretty quick, huh?
Right away, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it the kind of drug that when you take it, you don't want to stop taking it? You just keep doing it? Is that how it works?
Pretty much, man. Pretty much. You don't want to stop doing it. It's like once you start injecting drugs, man, you're done because you're getting everything. You know what I'm trying to say? You're sniffing. You're only getting like 40% of it. You're not really getting it all. So you're getting, and any kind of weird thing you like to do, when you're on that drug, that's what you do. So you develop your own addiction. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, I've shot coke and all. I really never been into the dope or nothing like that. I like to go fast. You know what I mean?
Like speed. I got you. So now
I like fast things. I want to get on the train,
But I would imagine a drug like meth that kind of kills your appetite it's not necessarily a good bodybuilding drug.
It's the worst bodybuilding drug. You won't eat anything. It's horrible. It's the worst bodybuilding drug. Anything fast is a bad bodybuilding drug. Right. You know that.
For how long would you go without eating when you would do meth?
Man, you don't even know. You're up like week, man. I stayed up one time like 16 days, man.
16 days?
Yeah, bro. Just up. Yeah.
Now, I saw a movie. What's that movie called about? I'm sure you saw it, about meth. Tweaked or something like that? What is it called?
But Breaking Bad, there's all kinds of stuff.
No, there's a movie that it has a name like Tweak. Spun. Yeah. One of my favorite movies, by the way.
I heard of it. I haven't seen it.
You've never seen that movie? You better not watch it. You'll probably go back to using meth again. No, but
Dave, really? I'll be honest with you, I will never touch another drug in my life.
I like
again,
that.
man.
I like to hear that from you. But Spun is a movie. They say that Mickey Rourke plays the cook.
He's great. He's great, Mickey Rourke. I love him.
Yeah, he plays the cook. He makes all the crystal meth. And he's like, hey, he goes, when you get to day 7 of not sleeping, you get spun, man. You don't know what the fuck's going on. Is that right? Is that the 7th day you lose your mind?
You lose because you lose your mind from sleep deprivation.
Yes.
You don't sleep, so you start losing your mind. You know what I'm saying? You're in another world.
You get spun. That's what he said.
God forbid you get a female that wants to do it with you. Forget about it. You'll get lost in the hotel room for days, man. You come out that thing, forget about it.
All right. So now it's obviously a very addictive drug. I can tell the way you're talking about it that you really liked it a lot. Yeah. When you came to my studio, I believe in early 16, and you'd had a little stint of jail time in Jersey, and you said I'm cleaned out and I'm making a comeback, and I really believed you. I thought that was it. You moved down to Florida, and what happened down here? Because you were training down here, you looked like you were on the right track. You got caught up in the lifestyle down here. What happened? The party scene?
Well, this is what happened. When I got out of jail in Jersey, nobody wanted to mess around with me for some reason. I don't know. People they thought I was ratting people out or whatever. I don't know, man. I'm the only one who went to jail. No one else went to jail. Right. Everybody knows that's BS now, but whatever. So I got fed up and I started getting high. I'm like, I just got all aggravated. So what does an addict do? He gets high because it's a weakness. You start getting high because it's not an addiction. It's a weakness, man. Straight up weakness. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? So I started getting high. I went down to Florida. And my father lives down there. I haven't talked to my father in like years, man. I got in touch with my mom. My mom's like, your probation officer's by the house. You haven't been here, and you haven't been to probation. This, and that. They're looking for you. I said, give me my father's. Where are you? I was actually in Pennsylvania. I left Jersey with some guy. Who knows? Two high retards.
Oh, so you were just driving around high, basically.
What?
You were driving around high, basically.
I was going to Pennsylvania to try to make some money. I was making some stuff up in my head. I was in another world, who knows?
Yeah, now let me ask you a question. How were you making money to pay for your drug addiction at that point?
Dave, listen, I always make money. I can be anywhere. I'm always making money. I'll hustle. I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Were you selling drugs at that time?
Of course I was.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, but a monkey can't sell peanuts.
That's
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, of course, selling drugs. All kinds of stuff, man.
What now? When you would sell drugs, would you sell the stuff you were using, the crystal meth, or was it?
No, I would sell baking soda or something like that. I would sell
oh, so you were scamming people too that you were selling the drugs to?
Of course I was. I might sell you a real dime bag, and then you hit me up later. I'm giving you I'm giving you 3.5 of baking soda.
I got you. So
you know what I mean? Then I'm running around thinking they're chasing me. I'm all whacked out.
Oh, okay. So. At what point so how do you get to Florida? You actually drove to Florida?
No, my car broke down actually my car broke down in Kentucky actually. I was actually met this kid in Pennsylvania. Yeah. We were gonna go to Colorado. My car broke down in Kentucky. I scrapped the car. I caught a bus to Florida.
Oh my God.
Whatever. I called my mom's, get my father's number. I need somewhere to go. I called my father. I met him in Florida at McDonald's.
Right.
And went there. I was sober now for a little while, so let me get myself together.
Right.
Me and my father, we never really got along and anything like that anyway. So within like 4 days, I was out of there. He has his own issues. Trust me, he has his own issues. But I'm not going to get into that. Though.
Was part of your issue the fact that you didn't have a good relationship with your father? You think?
No, not really. I wouldn't say so. Part of my issues were just anger and always trying to be someone I wasn't and masking it with the drugs, Right. But no, my father left at a young age. I was kind of over that, you know what I mean?
But you weren't angry over that? But you had to be angry that your dad left.
In a way, yes. You're right. I would say that. I never really figured out why I became such a maniac. Steroids didn't help it out at all, I'll tell you that.
When you met with your dad, did you confront him about any of this stuff? Or was it like a kind of a bullshit meeting?
What do you mean? Oh no, I told him that I came down there. I tried to reconcile with him, and I told him basically the gist of the story was like I told him I need help. He didn't want to help me. Right. I told him this was the last time he's going to disappoint me in my life, and I was out. From there, I was in Delray. From there, I went down to Miami.
Okay.
Tried to get myself together. That didn't work out. And
so you haven't talked to your dad since that meeting?
No, I I've talked to him like maybe once or twice or 3 times, nothing crazy. I don't really care to have a relationship with him. I mean, it sounds messed up, but I didn't really learn much from him anyway. So it's like that's the thing with my son. I'm trying to get in my son's life because once you don't need someone anymore at all, it's like, why do I even need to talk to him? I don't want my son to be like that with me, you know. So, yeah. So
you go down to Florida and you're training in Miami, and obviously you get exposed to the party lifestyle.
The lifestyle.
There. Right.
Yeah, the lifestyle. You can hustle people. You can do whatever you want. People come down, tourists, they come down there. Whatever.
So you're selling drugs on the street, basically?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is it more dangerous selling drugs on the street in Miami than it is, say, in New Jersey?
It's easier to scam people down there because they're tourists. They're coming from everywhere. They don't really know.
Right.
They don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's easier, you know?
Gotcha. Now, you obviously got in trouble down there, from what I understand.
I caught a sales charge down there. I caught a lot of charges down there. I beat a couple of them, but they made a whole big thing in the news about me that was a bunch of bullshit. But besides that, I ended up getting in trouble down there, pretty much.
Were you beating people up on the boardwalk there?
No, I was getting into fights, but I wasn't randomly beating people up.
Okay.
I got into a couple fights. I had a scuffle with a police officer over something. I had a couple fights on the beach. But, like, it wasn't like I was out there.
Who starts a fight with a police officer? You must have been out of your freaking mind.
I was resisting arrest, pretty much. I was resisting arrest. I was sleeping on the beach walk, and they came up to me, and I did something earlier that week, so I thought they were trying to arrest me for that. So they're talking to me, and the guy's, like, trying to, like, retain me, and I was just, like, trying to run, and we ended up getting into a scuffle and whatever.
So they arrested you?
Of course they arrested me, yeah.
Now, when they arrest someone who's resisting arrest, do they, like, rough you up a little bit?
Yeah, they beat me up a little bit. They definitely beat me up a little bit.
So,
which, I mean, I probably deserved it, though. I wasn't right, you know what I mean? I was looking back at it, was I wrong? I was a high retard. Yeah, I was wrong, you know?
So now why were you sleeping on the street if you were selling drugs? You obviously had money.
Well, I wasn't making money. I made $300. I was spending $400 on drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I see. Okay.
I wasn't making money, Dave. Money, a drug that doesn't make money spends all on drugs.
Gotcha. See,
sometimes I would catch a good little lick. I'd get a hotel for a week or a hostel or something like that. But for the most part, once I hit rock bottom down there, I was living on the street, man. Like, you know what I mean? Where was it going to live, you know?
Yeah, here you are. You're an IFBB Pro bodybuilder. Okay, which is pretty well respected in the bodybuilding world, and you're living on the street doing drugs. At what point do you say to yourself, I am a loser? You must, that has to come into your head at some point.
It kind of does, but then you know what, man? When you become like really addicted to stuff like that, like you create your own little person who you are. Like you're like a chameleon, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, and I used to sit down on the beach and like think about it, like, what am I doing? Like, and in my mind, I was always like, you'll get it together one day. You'll get it together one day. You'll get it together. You know what I mean? But thank God I caught that charge, man. I got locked up because probably, you never know, I would have lost my life. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of dangerous characters, I imagine, in Miami there, right?
Yeah, I have tons of stories, Dave. I have stories for days. I don't even know which one to tell. I mean,
what was the scariest situation? What was the scariest situation you were in?
Man, I have guns pointed at me, man. I had all kind of shit happen to me, man. I couldn't even. I'll get off topic if I start.
What do you do when someone puts a gun in your head? I mean,
man, this kid pointed a 22 in my head, and I'm thinking, like, I don't know much about guns. Like, I'm not a gun guy. Like, I'm thinking this little gun. Like, little did I know that would have rocked my brain. But I looked in his eyes. I knew he wasn't gonna pull the trigger. So I'm really drunk off of like 211 Steel Reserve. I'm talking junk to this guy. I'm talking real junk to him. Like, I'm trying not to curse anymore, Dave. That's my new thing.
Okay, don't curse.
I'm trying to calm my. This, if you notice, I'm trying really hard.
Yeah, you are pretty mellow in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed that it sounds really bad coming out of my mouth because, like, I just. So anyway, I'm talking to him like this, like that, like he's not gonna. He didn't do it, but I mean. I don't know. There's a lot of situations.
So you obviously had like a little bit of a death wish too, because you weren't afraid of someone putting a gun in your face.
I was like sick of myself. Yeah, I was sick of myself, dude. I'm like you said, I'm an IFBB Pro. I had all this stuff, great stuff in my life happen. I threw it all away for what? I'm like, what am I doing, man? But the drugs, they took over me, bro. They really did. Okay. They really, and we know each other for a while. I've been partying on and off, but it got to a point where I really hit the bottom, you know?
Right. So you get arrested. You're in a jail cell. I'm assuming you probably had a terrible withdrawal for the first couple days, correct?
Well, I mean, yeah, for the first couple of days, it's not like dope that you're like sick, throwing up. But like, yeah, bro, you're skeevy, you know, like I'm on meth all the time, like it's coming out of me. I was high. I'm in the jail cell high, like for 3 days. I'm still high because
3 days
before
it
I got
lasted?
locked up.
Wow.
Yeah, because I ate some before I got locked up. I took a bunch of it, so I'm tweaking out. There's a boat. You know how like some jail cells you get the reception. There's like 2 on the bed, 1 on the floor.
Yeah.
So I'm in the boat and I'm thinking I'm in a river. I'm gone. And I'm out there. But then when I came off that, and they put me in the psych ward because they see me doing crazy stuff. So like then I'm like, it was man.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing. It's just I know you.
Dude.
You're a character. You know, it must have been pretty wacky.
Yeah, it was pretty wacky.
When the drugs start coming out of your system finally, when does the reality of what's going on like really kick in?
Then that's when you want to kill yourself. Yeah, that's when you're like, what's going on? Yeah. And then I'm facing all kind of charges, bro. I'm sitting there on like they had me for all kind of stuff, man. I got lucky pretty much like that.
So how do you get the deal you got? You got 2 years, right?
Yeah. Well, because it was they really wanted. They had me on an armed robbery charge. It was not even me. I'm sitting there on an armed robbery charge for like 6 months. Then they no action did. They found the guy that did it. It was crazy, bro.
Oh, so they thought you had done a crime you didn't do. So what did you eventually plead guilty to?
Cocaine and methamphetamine, possession with intent to distribute, sell, manufacture, deliver.
Gotcha. Okay, so the judge gives you 2 years or more than that?
2 years, 20 months. It's max to 2 years out.
Okay, so you do the 2 years in jail. Now, where did you do the 2 years?
Florida.
What jail?
Well, I was in Florida. It's a long story. When I got out of Florida, I got extradited to Georgia because I caught a theft charge in Georgia.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? So I did 8 months in Florida and I did 20 months in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy because I had a theft charge out in Georgia.
I would imagine that Georgia was probably a tougher jail, huh?
Yeah, it was, man. Georgia was pretty bad too. It was 28 months pretty much straight like that.
Is there a lot of did you find there was like a lot of gangs and racism in there?
Yeah, there's a lot of racism down south, bro. A lot of racism down south. It's just black and white down south, really, in Georgia. Florida was a little different. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
When you are when you're moved up to Georgia into the jail there, into the prison,
I got extradited from Florida to Georgia.
Yeah. Give me the first day you get there. Like, what do you do? I mean, when you walk in there, do you have to like join a gang? I mean, a certain bunch of people you hang out with. How does that work?
That's a whole. My prison stuff is a whole. Like now you see me, I never all these tattoos before, right? I mean, that's a whole nother story if you want to get into that.
Well, I want to know what happened when you get to prison in Georgia.
Well, when I got to Georgia, I didn't go right to prison. Obviously, you have to go to the county first.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? From the county, I went to prison. I never made it to the prison in Florida because they had no action in the armed robbery. Gotcha. So I ended up sitting in Florida for 8 months, and after that, I think I'm getting out. But they transferred me to Georgia. Okay. So then from there, I go to the county in Georgia, and from there, then they sent me to state prison in Georgia. You know what I'm trying to say?
Because I thought that's day one of state prison. Tell me what happens.
They want to stay prison. I mean, listen, you go into reception, you're all butt naked. You know, that's it. You know what I'm trying to say? Right. You all go there, you take all your shit off. The buses pull up to the towers. You get out. Everybody goes in. You take your clothes off. Everyone's there butt naked. But they want a prison. I mean, because from the reception center, then they ship you off to different prisons. You know what I'm trying to say?
When you get in there, what happens? So how do they receive you? What do you do? Where do you go say? I mean, do you sit by yourself? Do you go find a group of guys you hang out with? I want our viewers to know what it's like, man, so they don't ever want to go there.
If you want me to be straight up with you, man, when I started getting locked up, I joined some kind of thing that was going on, whatever, and I was pretty much okay. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, did you have to fight? Did you have to fight anyone? I mean, what happened the first day? Give me the
No. First
schematics.
day just went. Nothing happened the first day. Nothing happened first day was there.
Did you join a gang there?
You're really getting deep with me, Dave.
Well, you came on the show. You wanted to talk to me about what it's like. I want people to not want to go to jail.
What?
I want our viewers who are in a situation maybe similar to what you were not to want to go to jail. So I want you to tell me what...
I got linked up with something, when I was there, pretty much. But before I even got to prison, I was with that. So when I got to prison, I seen everybody, you throw your shit up, and it was good. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say?
Did you have to fight anyone at all?
Talk about that because... What?
Did you fight anyone in prison?
Yeah, I had a lot of fights in there, man. I was in the hole for 90 days, bro.
Yeah.
I was in administrative segregation for 90 days over shit I was doing there. Listen, Dave, whatever I do in life, I do all the way.
So
I don't do anything
no one
half-assed.
messed with you. That's what I'm trying
No,
to get at.
man, not at all. Not at all.
So they knew that you were tough. They knew you were a tough dude. No one was gonna fuck with you.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Did you ever get to a point where you were scared in prison, like where you said, "Holy shit, I'm in big trouble"?
A couple times I had to do things I didn't want to do, man. When you join a clique, when you're involved with an organization and someone tells you to do something, you got to do it, or else it's your ass.
Right.
You know? So yeah, I got myself involved in something that I didn't know was that deep. Yeah, of course. Sometimes I was. Yeah, there's a lot of stories in there, but I don't want to tell the public.
I understand. Yeah, I know you don't want to talk about it, but there was violence. There was violence involved in it, I assume.
What?
There was a lot of violence involved in it, I'm assuming.
A lot of violence and a lot of stuff that I got involved in. Yeah, pretty much.
So
then I'm really ashamed of a lot of it too, to tell you the truth.
You are.
Yeah, I am, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ashamed of a lot of it too. I'm not even like that, man. I don't even know. You know, I guess you have to survive, but yeah, I'm ashamed of all that stuff, man. Now I look at it now, like you said. When do you look at it? Say I'm a pro bodybuilder. I'm this. I'm that. What am I doing with myself?
When you get to like a month out, okay, and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. You know you're getting out.
Yeah.
What are you thinking now? Do you have a plan for yourself once you get out? I mean, you have to like almost start acknowledging that you're going to get back to life.
Before you get out, they ship you to another prison, like a minimum security. They ship you somewhere where everyone's going home and stuff like that. So you're just you're planning out your stuff out, what you want to do.
So what were you thinking during that time period? Like what was your plan once you got out?
I had met a lot of people in prison. I went to go live with my homeboy. I was working construction with him. I went to go live with him in Georgia, and then we were like my affiliation. We were selling drugs again. So now I'm in Georgia. I'm selling drugs. You
didn't start using again, did you?
What?
Did you start using again too?
Yeah, when I got out, I started using. I was clean for like 2 weeks, and I got out. I was selling. I was working construction. I was selling, living out of a motel in Georgia, and I started using.
Ugh.
And for like a month, and then I got myself. One day, bro, like this is what happened, Dave. I'm sitting in the hotel. My boy takes a shower. I'm high as shit. I went through his phone. I seen some stuff in his phone. I'm like, this guy's gonna rat me out, man. Something's gonna happen. I got up. I had shorts and a guinea tee on like this, but a white one. Yeah. I had no shoes. I couldn't find my shoes. I put his shoes on. I got in the middle of the street. I jumped in the taxi. I went to the bus, wherever they catch the buses at, like like a Wawa out there or some kind of like Pilot or something like that.
Yeah.
And and then I started jumping. I didn't have any money.
Wow.
I didn't have any money, so I just took a white piece of paper and I got on the bus. They don't pay attention down south.
Yeah.
I just jumped on a mega bus, man.
Yeah.
I ended up from Georgia. I ended up in Cleveland, Ohio. I went that far jumping buses. Yeah, man. Oh man, this is a lot of shit.
So you go from and then what do you do once you get to Cleveland?
Once I got to Cleveland, I had nowhere to go, and I seen a Salvation Army. So I walked in there, and they told me to go to this building down the street, a homeless shelter. I had to go there for a couple weeks till they got me a permanent place to stay in that Salvation Army.
Right.
And I'm a barber, so I went downtown Cleveland. Yeah. I started cutting hair and making money.
Okay.
And I knew I had this open warrant in Jersey for a probation violation. So I'm trying to save money to come back, get a lawyer, turn myself in. Right. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So basically, I did that. I came back. I turned myself in. They locked me up for about like 3 weeks, something like that, a month. They reinstated my probation. I got out. Now this year, I just been good, man. I'm over all that.
Now, are you cutting hair again?
I'm cutting hair. Yeah, that's what I do. I cut hair. I lift weights. That's all I know how to do. What else am I going to do?
But I'm saying you went back to it. That's good. I mean, you have a skill, obviously. You're good at it too.
Yeah.
I've seen your work. You're very good at it.
Yep. I remember I was cutting hair on your show one time.
Yeah. Well, what's the goal? What's your goal now? You have a job. I'm assuming you train. I don't know if you're training or not with the gyms all closed or not, but are you working out someplace?
Yeah, I got weights at my house, bro.
Okay.
I've been in prison. I know all different kind of workouts to do. You can make it work, man. People are making a big deal about it. I'm fine with what it is.
You should start putting out some prison workouts. On a YouTube channel. You'll probably make a fortune.
I've been putting stuff up on my new Facebook, my new Instagram, and stuff like that. I've been trying to promote myself. But the ultimate goal, Dave, for me right now is this, man. My ultimate goal right now is to is to get back into competing. You know, I want to get a bigger. I'm renting a room right now. I got a nice roommate. He's good, but I want to get a bigger place. I want to put a gym in my place, a barber shop in my place. I want to just because I make my where I work, I make them a lot of money. I give them half.
Sure.
I promote myself online, do haircuts at my house, train people. That's what I want to do. I want to do what I love to do. I love to cut hair and I love to train.
Right.
So I want to make money doing that. If I don't have $1 million, whatever. But as long as I'm comfortable, I'm good. You know what I'm trying to say?
All right. Now, what's the plan not to use drugs? What if you start hitting times where you get depressed? How are you going to stop yourself from, what are you going to AA or anything like that where you have some tools to work with if in case you do feel the urge to use drugs again?
I've been clean for about a year now, man. I mean, I just know where it's going to bring me, man. Like, I don't want that for my life anymore. I don't go to AA. I don't want to tell stories to people. I don't want to hear people's stories. Like, you know, in the basic, if you want to, the choice is mine. You know what I'm trying. If I want to go do drugs, I'm going to end up in jail. I'm going to end up in prison again.
Right.
I don't know how to do one. I can't do two.
Right.
I can't have fun with that.
Is prison enough of a deterrent now for you to stop using drugs? In other words,
it's not even just a prison, bro. It's not even just prison. It's just, do I want to live like that? Like, do I want to be on the street and no one want? I don't want to have it. There's people out here that love me, that need me, man.
Yeah.
And it's selfish for me to be like that. Like, I have a son, my mother, I have good friends, I have people that love me, man.
Sure.
Dave, in the end of the day, I'm a pretty good guy. When I'm sober, I'm a pretty good guy. Like,
no, everyone loves you. You're very fun to be around. Where does your son live?
My son lives like about 20 minutes away with his mother. You know what I mean?
How old is he?
West of me.
How old
My
is he?
son's 14. He's big, man. He's into football. He's like starting running back.
Right, well, that should be enough of a reason for you to stay clean, because to be with your son. I mean, look, your dad wasn't around for you. Here's your opportunity to be around for your son, right?
Pretty much. It's getting too late. You know what I mean? It's
never too late. It's never too late.
Well, no, yeah. I'm saying it's never too late, but it's gonna be too late. My son's 20 years old. Like, he's 14.
Well, if you go back to jail, it's going to be too late. You're damn right it is, yeah.
Exactly. Like, I can't do that anymore, man. I can't be doing that anymore.
So what's the goal? Next year you want to get on stage? Obviously, this season's all kind of messed up anyway because of this whole...
Yeah, next year I'm going to get on stage, for sure. I'm going to get on stage next year.
212 division?
Yeah, 212, yeah. I'm going to get on stage
next year. What are you, like 5'2"?
I'm 5'7". No, I'm like 5'2". Yeah.
No, you'll be one of the biggest guys in the 212 division because you're short and you got a lot of mass on you.
Listen, man, when I'm good, man. But, you know, like, all the bodybuilding I've done, man, I never really listened to a diet. I never really, I was really like, you know how I am. I just take a bunch of shit, work out, eat this, eat that, man. I got pretty decent genetics. I really got to stick to the format, though, and I can really do some damage.
You got to rehire Kenny Jones again to work with.
Kenny Jones, remember?
He'll whip you into shape.
God. My God.
You live with him, you won't do any drugs, that's for sure. He'll have you fucking on the straight and narrow, man.
Yeah, I heard you guys used to hang out back in the day, you and Ken Jones.
Yeah, I love Kenny. Kenny's a good guy. Yeah.
He is a good guy, though. He is a good guy.
And he's as crazy as you are. So, I mean, you guys probably get along really well.
Yeah, he's all right.
Well, Steve, you know what? I'm very happy to hear that you're clean now and that you're in a good spot, because I was worried about you when I saw the newspaper article come out. I knew you were in jail, and I said, oh, boy. You know, but sometimes for a drug addict, being in jail is the safest place to be because it keeps you off the drugs, at least, you know. At least some people. Yeah, I guess some people can get drugs in jail, but, you know.
Another thing, though, is, you know what's bad with the drug use, man, is heavy steroid use. Like, Trenbolone is very bad for me. I can't use it no more.
It fucks your head up, right? Yeah.
It fucks me up. It messes my head up so bad.
Sorry, I'm cursing. Now you got me cursing.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Listen, no, Trenbolone makes me crazy, bro. Because, you know, I was like, listen to Boston Lloyd. Yeah, just pull the whole thing back. I'm shooting 3 cc's of Tren, like, oh, my God. I wanted to kill people. All I wanted to do is get high. I shoot 3 cc's of Tren. All I want to do is get high. That's it. That's
no Trenbolone, no crystal meth for you. That's it. Let's keep that out of the diet. So, well, I think we should do every 3 months like an update with you so that we make sure that we keep you sober. We got to have like accountability for you for the people out there, because look, there are people watching this show right now, Steve, that were in your situation, that are in your situation, and that could possibly degenerate to your situation that you were in. What advice? Look into that camera and give some advice to people who may be watching this and feel like that sense of I've given up, and I'm gonna wind up dying because of drugs. How could you lift them up spiritually out of that place that they're in now?
I'm gonna be 100% real with you, man. It's this: they're never gonna be until you want to change. Anyone could say anything to you, bro. They could say the world to you, bro. You have to want it for yourself. You have to really want it for yourself. There's nothing I could say because there's nothing no one could say to me. Like you could tell me a million stories or it's gonna be better. No one wants to hear that shit when you're getting high. No one want to hear that. But they gotta believe in themselves and know that they can do better. Like you gotta be done. When you're done, you're done. Once you say I'm done, you gotta be done.
Is there a way to end it without you having to hit rock bottom? I mean, because
everybody has their own rock bottom. Rock bottom is it's like it's different. You know, yours might be here, mine might be here. Right. It's all different. You know, you just gotta want better for yourself, man. I mean, it's enough's enough. Like I don't know. I can't explain it. I just don't want to live that lifestyle no more.
Right, but you don't want to have to look over your shoulder anymore. I'm sure.
Yeah, not even that. It's just like, dude, do you want things in your life? Yes or no? You have to answer. Do I want to have a life? Do I want to get married? What do I want? You're not going to get that doing that stuff. You're not going to go anywhere. Right. But you got to stop. You got to be like, it's a weakness, man. You just got to be strong, and you got to like, every day is like another day. Okay, this day. You know, it's one day at a time, man. It's one day at a time, and then it gets easier. It gets easier. But you know what I mean? I've never felt worse than when I took drugs. I mean, I took millions of steroids. It's still bad, but drugs are the worst thing ever. People say, you shouldn't take Superdrol for more than 5 weeks. Dude, I'm shooting grams of crystal meth. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? It's toxic. I was up for 18 days. You're going to get coronavirus. Listen, if something's going to happen, it's going to happen, dude. Yeah. Straight up.
Well,
you know what I mean? Like,
I'm glad you clean, because you know what? I didn't want to. No one wants to see anyone die. I certainly didn't want to see you die. I think you got a lot to contribute. I think that your son appreciates that you're still alive. You're back in his life, and that's what you have to live for at this point. I have 3 young kids now myself, and you know what? That's my reason for existing now. And I think
you have to know that you're important to other people. You're not just. It's a selfish thing. You can't be selfish.
Right.
Because when you're getting high, you're selfish. It's a selfish thing, man. Yeah. It's like, you want to be like that? Like, that's not in life. We only have love, man. If we can't love, man, we don't got nothing. That's all it comes down to, bro.
Very wise words, and we will end the show on those wise words. Love.
That's it.
Don't live in fear. Don't live in I guess you could say selfishness. You got to live in love, and you have no problems.
As long as you got love in your heart, you're good, man. Everything else doesn't matter, bro. You know.
Well, Steve, I missed you, man. I'm glad you're back. Keep us updated on what's going on. Stay clean, man. Wash your hands a lot, and keep us updated.
Don't take too much Superdrol, Dave.
No, exactly.
It's not good.
All right, guys, that's going to take us to the end of another episode of Live With, brought to you by Species Nutrition. I'm Dave Palumbo. We'll see you next time.